course, I didn't read all books in the world, but let's be honest, who has read all books in the world? No one. Still, I read quite a lot of books on personality development and also just about the mind. And the 6 books that I want to present you in this video are really books that if you haven't read them and you check out the content that is in there, you are like, damn, I wish I would have known that earlier. It changes completely the way you think, the way you act, the way you understand your brain, maybe also life. It's just amazing. And this is really a top list that I made for myself and I want to present it to you. So I really think that the book on the first place still is even better than the others, but all 6 books are just incredible. I've chosen them for you, and if you want to check them out, I have links for you for Amazon US, Amazon UK and Amazon Germany. I will also show you the ratings of these books because I'm not the only person that loves these books. These books are just incredible. Are you excited? Let's start with number 6. Number 6 is a book that is pretty thick. It is Thinking Fast and Slow. Let me show you the book. It's right here. It is this book. I'm from Germany. I read always the German version. It's pretty thick. Thinking Fast and Slow. This is a German cover. And the book is from an Israeli doctor, psychologist. And first I want to say the way that this book is written, it is pretty complicated written, so if you read it, you must really focus on it to understand it. There are so many studies that this guy made. His entire life, you can say, he was working on understanding the human psychology. You read this, you understand with studies and explanations the way that your conscious and subconscious mind works, and this way you can also be more effective when you are learning new things and you just want to be productive with your mind. You understand your brain, and so many cool studies that you can also share with your friends, your family, and they will be like, really? Damn. Like, very cool and interesting studies. And you must read it maybe once or twice, even although it's pretty thick, to really understand it. The man is describing the conscious and unconscious brain as system 1 and system 2, so that he's not always repeating the same words. You must really learn that vocabulary that he uses in here. It's really complicated written, but amazing if you take your time to read it. Thinking Fast and Slow, my number 6, Understand Your Brain Better. Check this book out. All links for the books again are in the description. My number 6. Number 5 is a book from Eckhart Tolle. Tolle. The guy is a very spiritual person, a spiritual, how do you call it? Like a teacher, And this is the book that a friend of mine, my best friend, just gave me as a present a few years ago. And while reading it, the cool thing is, let me show you the cover of the book. First, this is the book, The Power of Now. And what this book is about is, it is explaining you how our ego mind works, how our psychology works, and it helps you to, if you adapt it, and while reading the book, you also feel that there is so much truth inside this book. You feel it. It's not like science behind it so much, but it's something that you feel. It's like an information that you have inside you, and this guy, Eckhart Tolle, tells you how to experience it. It's like he helps you to use your conscious mind almost all the time rather than using your subconscious mind all the time, because we often use just our subconscious mind, our movements. Everything that we do is often subconscious, and of course the subconscious mind is very productive, and also in Thinking Fast and Slow we learn that in that book. But The Power of Now tells us that we as human beings, we think so much, we think automatically, and sometimes we don't want to think, but we still are thinking. And this guy helps us to not think so much, to just use our mind when we want to use our mind as a tool. He says our mind is a tool, and just use it when you want to. But the rest of the day, forget about all this thinking, and when you adapt it, and you have these moments of he even calls it enlightenment, you have these moments of really being conscious, you feel incredible. You never had that feeling before, or maybe just when you did some very dangerous stuff, then your mind just calms down. You don't have your mind very active, then you are in the moment. It helps you just be in the moment. The Power of Now, my number 5. Check that one out too if you haven't read it. It's a book that while reading you really feel that there's so much truth behind it. Next, my number 4, a book that I've talked about a lot on this channel already. It is Anthony Robbins' Power Principle. I have just the German book variation here. It is the Power Principle. Oh, sorry. It's just in Germany called the Power Principle. It is Awaken the Giant Within in the English variation. The cool thing about this book is not just that Anthony Robbins wrote that book. Anthony Robbins is, maybe you can see it here, that person. One of the most famous motivational speakers, not just motivational speakers, he is just helping so many thousands of thousands of people to get the best versions of themselves in life and in everything. And the cool thing about this book is there's not just one principle. There are so many principles that this guy, Anthony Robbins, put inside this book. And of course you cannot adapt, and you should not adapt maybe also, because it's not really possible, all tips in here. But you can always pick the tips that work for you and make use of them. My favorite is, for example, the pain and pleasure principle that I talked about a lot on this channel, and also visualizing stuff, the law of attraction, and talking about the law of attraction. It is also my number 3 weight. So this is my number 4, Anthony Robbins, Awaken the Giant Within, in German, the Power Principle. Check that one out. All these books can really change your life, even just once, if you adapt the stuff that is in there. My number 4 here. Number 3 is from Rhonda Byrne. I think I often just read the title, but I forget about the authors, except for Anthony Robbins and Eckhart Tolle, for example. It is The Secret. The Secret is a book that I've seen for so many years. I just saw the cover and I was like, it's just written The Secret? Like, why should I buy that? It's like advertisement, and yeah, it is. But The Secret is just the law of attraction. The law of attraction is explained here so detailed, and while reading it, maybe there's also not so much science behind it, but it makes sense, and you feel also here, like in Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now, that there's so much truth inside that you pull from the universe, let's say, everything that you focus on towards you, whether it's negative or positive. And these books help you to manifest, to get what you want out of life by just sending the right frequencies with your mind to the universe so that it comes back to you, whatever it is, house, relationship, money, everything. And I'm really trying to adapt that. And when you also try it out, you feel very happy while adapting The Secret, because it only works when you think positive. It's an amazing book, and so many quotes also in there that are beautiful. Probably you've heard about this book. Maybe you haven't read this book. You should, because the law of attraction is nowhere explained better than in the book The Secret. I think this is much better than also the movie, although I haven't watched the entire movie. The book is just amazing. Don't just think like me that this is just pure advertisement. It is amazing. Check out The Secret. So, and my number 2 is a book that I also mentioned on this channel. Again, German cover here. How to Win Friends and Influence People, the German cover here, by Dale Carnegie, also a very famous author, unfortunately dead. This book was written in the early, mid-20th century, and this guy explains us how to improve our charismatic skills so that people like us more, so that we are in general also more happier. It helps us how to communicate in a way that people like us. And also, if you do that, let's be honest, and the principles are just so simple, and he has also so many cool stories that explain all these principles. You adapt these things, you get more happier yourself, you make people happy, and you get so much more positivity back. And it is an amazing way to combine this with the law of attraction, because when you're positive, you get from the universe whatever you want, probably, because I really believe in that. So, How to Make Friends, Win Friends, and Influence People from Dale Carnegie is great. The principles are very simple. Easy principles like also smiling and stuff like that are also in here. You can adapt them immediately, and you can make it a life change by improving your charismatic skills, improving your social skills. It's just great. Check this one out. Again, just the German cover is here. You see always when I show you the books, you see here on Amazon the reviews, and the reviews of all these books are just amazing. So are the reviews from this book. This guy was amazing, has written amazing books also about Think and Grow Rich, I think, is also from this man. I haven't read that yet. Don't be mad at me. But this one is awesome. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Get that book. If you haven't read it yet, do that. And my number 1. It is my number 1. Of course, you can have another opinion, but maybe you haven't read that book yet. It is also a book from Eckhart Tolle, and this one is even better in my opinion. It is A New Earth from Eckhart Tolle. Let me show you that. So, A New Earth has this cover, also another cover. There are so many covers because this book is very popular. A New Earth describes here how humanity in general is thinking, how the ego mind is thinking, he's telling us also about pain bodies inside us, so that there is a part inside of us that is always wanting negativity, and he tells us how to stop all that by controlling our mind, and using again here our mind as the right tool. The cool thing why is this book better in my opinion than even The Power of Now, which was amazing already? Again, while reading it, you feel that there's so much truth inside that, and after reading this book, you understand the psychology of human beings much better. Even when you are not enlightened, you understand the psychology much better, and you feel like, okay, this person is probably doing that right now because of that. You understand it much better, and this is also very important already, to just understand life and earth better. You feel much more, I don't know, intelligent after reading this book, but it's not just about using the mind to tell people who they are or how they are. You don't know it. It's about how you can change the way that your mind controls you, because he really tells us, and it makes all sense, how our minds are controlling us. We are often not controlling our own minds. So he helps us to be in the moment, to use our mind when we want to use our mind. Otherwise, we are just thinking all the time. You also know what I'm talking about, right? And this is the book that can change that, together with The Power of Now. But I just think this one is even better, because he goes really into depth and tells us how we can use daily life as like spiritual practice to really have a very clear, focused mind. And this clear, focused mind, I had that feeling a few times already, even for minutes and hours, and it felt totally different from what we have. When you do this, it feels like before, all the time you had like some fog inside your head, and you hadn't that 100% focus. With these techniques, and they are not difficult, the guy explains it incredibly well, you get that laser focus, and you want that again. It's even addictive to have that focus. You feel great, and you feel also more connected to nature. This is not a book that is just about success. It's not about that. It's about the way you feel, the way you live, okay? But it is why number one, because it had a huge impact on the way that I think. Yes. All these books you can read as a book, but you can also, if you're lazy, because some of us don't want to read a lot, you can also listen to them as audiobooks. And I'm a member of Audible, and I have also links for you for Audible on Amazon, for Amazon US, Amazon UK, and Amazon Germany, because while just driving in the car, you can listen to the audiobooks. While working out, you can listen to the audiobooks. You get it much faster done. Listen to them multiple times. It costs about $10 a month just, and you get any book, even when it's more expensive, for just $10. Okay, so Audible is also a great deal. If you want to read the books, I have also for that the links in the description. You choose just one of these books and adapt the stuff that is in there. It can totally change everything in your life, and the knowledge is really unique compared to other books, in my opinion. Of course, I didn't read all books, but if you haven't read these books, read them. I must also read other books, but until now, these are my top 6 ones, the best ones that I ever read. And of course, it's not easy to adapt all this stuff. And I want to be honest, I'm not able to adapt all this stuff. But we should try to become the best versions of ourselves, right? And these kind of books really help us with that. So check them out. The links are in the description again. And the reviews are just amazing. Read the reviews first and send the book just back if it's not the book that you wanted to. Yes. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, you can do that down here, and you can watch other videos to develop yourself up here in the corners. Let's grow together, you and me. Let's be a community. Let's unleash the alphas inside of us. We have so much potential. Let's become the best versions of us. Read your books and grow, my friend.